So what class should you be playing in Classic Season of Discovery? This question I'll try to answer today in this video, where I show different footage and why I also like each individual class. And hopefully by the end you have more knowledge and also know what you should be playing. And if you're currently interested in Classic Season of Discovery content, then make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified the next time I post a new video. Anyway, enjoy! So who should be playing a Warlock? Well, a person that would still like to be able to be a caster, but at the same time also the possibility to tank in dungeons and raids. Yeah, this is going to be a possibility in Season of Discovery with the new talent Metamorphosis. The whole reason why you're going to be able to tank is because this form will increase your armor by 500%, make you immune to be crit by raid bosses, increase your threat generation, and you can even taunt as well. But if you choose to play a Warlock, then it's not like you're meant to tank. You can still be a caster with the new spell Shadowbolt Volley, allowing you to finally be able to spell cleave, so you don't have to cast Rain of Fire all the time. You also got a ton of new single abilities, for example Chaos Bolt and Haunt. And then there's also many different runes that will passively improve your spells. I expect many people to try out this class, mainly because you will be able to tank, and this is going to be a big change compared to original Classic or Vanilla. So, should you be playing a Warlock in Classic Season of Discovery? The answer is yes, if you would like to play a class that can tank, play as a caster, and have a ton of CC that can be quite useful in dungeons, raids, and especially in PvP. And of course such an amazing solo leveler because of the crowd control, but also because you have access to many different pets. But the Warlock is not the only new class that can start tanking. This can also be done as a Shaman, where you equip a one-hand weapon and a shield, and allow yourself to unlock different runes that increase your armor, block chance, makes you immune to crit, and also get a taunt effect. And the other specializations getting many new improvements that allow them to finally attend a raid, so you don't always just have to play as a Restoration Shaman. Enhancement Shamans with dual will specialization that not only improves your damage, but also allow you to get 5% increased hit with melee and range attacks. Something you'll most likely lack a lot of in the beginning. Lava Lash to have a filler when you are waiting for your Storm Strike, and Shamanistic Rage in case you go out of mana. So enhancement will be playable in dungeons and raids. The option to swap between different shields, not only Lightning Shield, but this time Water Shield, and also Earth Shield. These two shields will either restore mana or health when you're being hit, and Earth Shield can even be casted on a party member. As an Elemental Shaman, you no longer just use Lightning Bolt or Chain Lightning. No, you can also choose Lava Burst, which deals a high amount of damage and always crit if you have Flame Shock on the target. In my opinion, I feel like Shaman is going to be such a superior class. You can do everything: tank, heal, DPS, even as a ranged DPS or a melee DPS. So you're going to be capable of fulfilling every single role in the game with just one class. And this is why I'll most likely be playing this myself. Next up, probably one of the most popular classes in the game, the Hunter. Known for being able to solo elites and having an easy time leveling up with their pets, traps, and a ton of other things. This is still going to be the exact same, but now you can choose different runes that will pretty much also tell you if you're going to be a melee or a range hunter only. So we still have the two abilities Mongoose Bite and Raptor Strike, but now you can also choose an additional two more, Carve and Flanking Strike. So 4 different abilities you can use in melee, and this is why hunters can play as a melee DPS now, instead of just always being ranged. However, if you prefer to stick to ranged DPS, then you might also enjoy your 2 new spells. Explosive Shot that deals a high amount of damage over the next couple of seconds, or Chimera Shot, which is an instant attack that deals a high amount of damage and also benefit from different spells. And like it wasn't enough, you can also decide to play without your pet. By doing this, you increase your damage done by 25% as long as you have the required rune. But then again, hunters are famous for their pets, as it allows them to easily solo different enemies, and with the new rune Kill Command, you can also deal even more damage with your pet. So who should choose a hunter? Those who would like to play a class that can play as a ranged DPS without being a caster, who can perform decent in melee, who has an opportunity to play either with or without a pet, and who is an amazing solo leveler. And not to mention all the CC and mobility that makes this class so fun to play in PvP. Just remember, this is a class that will remind you a lot of how it were in Vanilla or Classic. Yeah, I know you get new abilities, but you're not getting new roles like a Warlock or a Shaman that can all of a sudden also tank. No, you'll only be able to DPS if you choose a Hunter. One class that is also quite tempting to play has to be the Druid. You can fulfill every single role in the game. With all the new changes, for example Pharaohs being able to use a lot more melee abilities in cat form, and Bears who can finally tank raid bosses, as they will no longer be able to be crit with a new rune they can choose. And another rune that gives you a new ability that causes a high amount of threat. This makes the tanking so much easier, and you don't have to worry that much that the target will all of a sudden swap to one of your DPS or healers. And Pharaohs with the new spell Mangle that increases the damage they do with their bleeds and threat, and with the combo points they gain, they can use it on another finish mover that has been introduced, Savage Roar. This will increase the physical damage done by another 30%. So Pharaohs might all of a sudden be something you'll bring into your raid group. Originally, Rested Druids were already decent healers, but now they get 2 more healing spells. Wild Growth, which is a heal over time, that will work as an AoE heal, and Life Bloom, a single target heal, which is also a healing over time. And Balanced Druid will also get some more abilities. Overall, I think this class might be really decent in Classic Season of Discovery. I mean, just like the Shaman, they can play as a melee DPS, ranged DPS, tank, and even heal. So instead of leveling many different classes to have all the different roles covered, then what you can do is to just play one class and do everything in the game. Before all the different class changes, then as a Paladin, you were meant to heal when you reach level 60. Or well, you could play as a tank or as DPS, but usually you would never get any raid spots. Also because as a tank, you didn't have any taunt abilities whatsoever. This has been changed, and as a Paladin, you can now taunt, you have a lot more defensive, and even a way to range pull with Avenger Shield. So a class that has received so many changes that makes them able to attend every single role in a raid. From being a healer to a tank, yeah, even a Retribution Paladin as well. Retribution Paladins gain 2 more abilities to do melee damage, so it will no longer just be a DPS that will use auto attack. No, you will actually have a rotation for once. On top of this, a lot more defensives, and as a healer, Beacon of Light that you can place on a target, so whenever you heal someone else, then the target affected by Beacon of Light will also be healed for the same amount. Like I mentioned, there's a ton of different changes for every single class in the game. All of these changes can be found in another video, which I've posted in the description below this one. So why should you choose a Paladin over, for example, a Shaman or a Druid? Well, if you plan to play Alliance, then you cannot play Shaman anyway, so that's quite easy to decide. But as a Druid, you don't have the option to wear mail or plate gear, and I feel like a Paladin has a lot more things that will benefit a raid. For example, different bubbles, Divine Sacrifice, freedoms, and the spells. Later on in Phase 2, we can also reach level 40, and at this level, Paladins will get their mount for free. And overall, I just feel like they're a bit better polished compared to a Druid, but this is of course just my opinion. Playing a rogue in Classic has always been so much fun, at least if you like to PvP, but also crowd control enemies, so you can take them down with stunts and many different things. But in Classic Season of Discovery, you can now also use ranged weapons, for example a gun to slow the enemy, but also stun them from range. This might sound quite interesting, but what if I told you rogues will now also be able to tank in raids? The reason why this is going to be a possibility is because you can choose different runes that either increase your chance to parry, but also another one that allow you to gain a taunt ability, to become immune to critical hit, and also reduce the damage that you take. The name of this rune is just a Flesh Wound. So rogues will see a massive change. You can still enjoy this in PvP, you can enjoy it as a DPS in PvE, and you can even tank at the same time. All the specializations will also be viable in raids. You will no longer just need to play as a combat rogue. No, you can also do fine as the other specializations. This is mainly also because of the different runes you can combine. One of the biggest benefits of choosing a rogue is that no matter what specialization you play, then you will always benefit when you get a new piece of armor, as it usually increases your stamina, agility, and maybe crit or hit. And if you like to play rogue in, for example, retail, classic or hardcore, then it will be the exact same in classic Season of Discovery. As a warrior, it will be so much easier to farm. This is because of the new rune, Victory Rush. Every time you kill an enemy, you have a 20 seconds window where you afterward can use the attack Victory Rush. By using this, you deal a high amount of damage, but also heal yourself for 10% of your maximum health. This ability alone makes the gameplay so much more smooth, as you always have something you can use, even when you're low on rage. Another ability you can choose is Quick Strike. This is an instant melee attack with your two-hand weapon that deals a decent amount of damage. In Classic 2019, warriors were dominating in the different raids, but we gotta remember this is also at max level where you have a lot of crit, hit and expertise. At level 25 I'm unsure if it will be the same way, but there's going to be a lot of other runes at least that you can choose to improve your different abilities. But overall there isn't going to be a lot of new abilities as a warrior compared to the other classes. So if you're looking for a change and would like to try something new, then I think warrior won't really be the right choice for you. Instead, you should maybe try a priest, as they will receive so many new abilities. For example, penance that channels either damage or healing to the target. Or Mindseer that finally allow you to deal cleave damage and not just do single target damage all the time or applying multi-dots to many different targets. No, Mindseer will hit all nearby enemies within 10 yards of the target. Not only will this be useful in dungeons and raids, I guess it might also become decent when you have to farm gold in the open world. You now also have the possibility to choose an instant healing, and this will not only heal one target, no, it will heal all party members within 15 yards of the target that you mainly healed. And even an instant attack that will deal damage to the priest if you don't kill the target. If you manage to kill the target with the spell, then you won't take any damage. One of the main reasons why I really like Priest in Classic Season of Discovery is because the gameplay changes so much. You will not just be standing still and casting a heal. No, you have many different ways to heal, assist your party, and now also deal damage as a Shadow Priest. So you will not be sticking to the same rotation as you probably were back in 2019 or 2020. If you're already familiar with a Priest in Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King or even Cataclysm, then you will also notice that most of these spells are from those expansions, beside this rune that allow you to summon 3 copies of yourself. So if you're looking for a class that will receive many different changes, it is a ton of fun to play, no matter if you heal or DPS, and the reason why we can DPS is not just because of Mindseer. This is also because of the runes Twisted Faith, Void Plague and Shared Pain, that allow us to hit up to more targets with our Shadow Void Pain, we get a new dot, and we also deal more damage with Mind Flay and Mind Blast if a target is afflicted by our Shadow Void Pain. So who should be picking a Priest? Those of you who would like to level up a class that will be one of the best healers and probably also one of the best DPS in the game because of all these changes. Mages are known for insane damage, fast leveling, amazing gold farming, and of course also some of the best crowd control in the game with your polymorph and the possibility to slow many enemies and even root them at the same time. All of this will still be possible in Season of Discovery, but this time we get even more single target spells and even a possibility to heal as well. But when a class like a mage all of a sudden also get different heals, then I actually expect the class to become so decent. Imagine a healer that can blink in, root all enemies, polymorph them, and also heal at the same time. This seems quite insane, right? And the moment you don't want to heal, then you just make some distance and then you start pumping your damage. So I guess to some of you, it seems quite weird that all of a sudden you can also heal as a mage. But then again, isn't this what we were expecting and looking forward to? So we have to run around in the open world and discover all this ourselves, getting to know the best possible leveling spec, the right runes to choose, and the new rotation for your specific class. At least I'm looking forward to Season of Discovery, and soon I'll release a lot more videos and guides. So stay tuned for those and remember to subscribe if you would like to get notified the next time I post a video. As always, thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day.